Okay, are you actually recording this time? Are we recording? Okay, cool. Because I kind of want to make this video. I was trying to start, and the webcam on the laptop jammed up. So I think I need to get like a better webcam, like an external webcam. So probably what that's going to happen once I get my income tax back, and I'll start looking into that. But I have another unboxing today, and this is Luke Skywalker. So this is it's not the first Luke in this line. I don't think. I think the first Luke that was put out in the Black Series was the X-wing fighter pilot Luke, but it's what you would think of as the basic Luke Skywalker from Star Wars in his desert farm boy gi. So let's go ahead and open him up. Like most of you who are watching this video, I would have been a Star Wars fan since I was a small child. And, Luke Skywalker, being the hero of the saga, wound up being one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character in my childhood. And he's still one of my favorite Star Wars characters. But I don't know if I have a single favorite Star Wars character. I really like all the main characters quite a bit. I like a lot of the more periphery characters too. I like people like Bosk and Hammerhead and a lot of the weird aliens. And there are no rubber bands holding Luke Skywalker into the package, so that's amazing. So Luke Skywalker comes with a pair of macro binoculars so that he can observe the capture of Princess Leia's ship in a deleted scene, and he comes with his father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of the Jedi, not as clumsy or random as a blaster, an elegant weapon, or more civilized day. Unfortunately, he does not come with a clumsy random blaster, which I think would be something that this Luke Skywalker would benefit from, since in most of the first Star Wars movie, we see Luke using that as his main weapon while he's running around on the Death Star. But they instead just have him with a lightsaber, and I guess you gotta gank a a stormtrooper rifle from another character. So one thing that I don't like about this Luke Skywalker right off the bat is they made the decision that Luke should be wearing this soft goods robe, like his tunic, whatever you call this. I called it a gi because it reminds me of a karate gi. It's made out of fabric, and I feel like that makes it like way too big in terms of scale. Fabric itself, and you can see it gets all puffy on him. And I guess if you want to put some care into it, you could maybe fold the fabric around his joints and stuff so it looks a little more natural. But again, you'd have to put some effort into that. So that's two strikes against poor old Luke Skywalker right there. Doesn't come with a stormtrooper rifle and has this weird fabric robe. And honestly, I think considering a lot of the 3 3/4 inch figures that I've seen with very well sculpted, well detailed robes, I don't see why they couldn't have done that with a 6 inch figure. This was a strange choice to me. I like 6 inch is a little too small to have like fabric jackets and things like that. Like we're lucky that the Han Solo trench coat worked out as well as it did. And even then, you can take, if you don't like the way the trench coat looks, you can take the trench coat off. And honestly, that's how Han looked in most of Return of the Jedi anyway. But this, I'm imagining if I were to take Luke's robe off, he's just kind of shirtless underneath. Yeah, yeah. So I guess one advantage to this is you could like have him pose with like his shirt completely open, like the poster of the first movie, and have him holding the lightsaber above his head with like the sleeves all falling down around his arms and like that sort of, you know, Make him look like Conan the Barbarian. He's not quite as ripped as he is on that poster, though. So this is probably a more realistic interpretation of Mark Hamill's physique at the time. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen any pictures of him shirtless, but he doesn't seem to me like he was some kind of ripped muscle man. He seems like he was, yeah, probably average, decent shape of a young man in the 1970s. Let's put his lightsaber into his hand. There we go. He doesn't use the lightsaber very much in the movie, though. Not in the first one. There's the scene where he first gets it in old Ben's hut, and then there's the scene where he's practicing with it on board the Millennium Falcon. But he doesn't come with the little practice drone, and he doesn't come with the helmet, so you can't recreate that scene. So really, the only scene that you can recreate with this guy is where he meets old Ben in the hut with this lightsaber. That's really the only scene where you can accurately recreate it. But I don't think most people would care about that. I think, if you have a Luke Skywalker, this shirt seems kind of like it's pulled out of sync. I think I could. I don't know. This fabric shirt is bothering me. I really think they should have just sculpted his robe on. I think that would have been way better. Maybe at some point in the future they'll get around to doing that. I don't think they've done it yet. I think that's about the best I can get the robe to look on the figure. I think that looks decent enough. Uh, but yeah, the likeness of the figure is one where like it's a really good sculpt, but the painting is not up to the level that like the later Black Series would get to. Like if you watched my video on Han Solo, like that one is just like uncanny how much it looks like Harrison Ford with the paint detailing. And even Obi-Wan, which I think came out, after this one, but before the Han Solo, the paint detailing on that one is much better. Not as good as the Han Solo, but better than Luke Skywalker. This is if this were a figure that had come out like in the 90s, I would say that's good paint detailing on the face. Like his eyes are nice and got different colored pupils, and the paint masking itself is good. But for a figure that is in a modern line, like I think this probably came out like right before they had that quantum leap forward in terms of the detailing of face sculpts. So that's unfortunate. Maybe at some point they'll do a more updated one, and he can have a sculpted robe and the better detailing on the face. So I'm looking to see if there's a way that you can plug his binoculars onto his belt, but I don't see a way to do it. There doesn't seem to be any sort of thing that this can clip on. Maybe I can fit it onto the lightsaber. No, I can't even fit it on the lightsaber hook. I thought maybe there was a little bit of a notch here I could do that with, but that's not going to work. So I guess he just either holds it or you like put it at his feet or something like that. So that's a little disappointing. Usually when they have the binoculars, you can usually clip them to his belt in some way. So, like I said, this is a figure that came out like really early in the line, so I can forgive it some of the shortcomings, but that's not really one that I can kind of turn a blind eye to. That's something they were able to do with Luke Skywalker action figures in the 90s. So they should be able to do it like, 30 years later or whenever this figure was made. So, but like I said, this was pretty early on in the Black Series. They were kind of trying to figure things out at that point. And I think if they made this particular Luke Skywalker today, it would have been much better in a lot of ways. But it's still a pretty decent figure, and I was able to get them on Amazon for a pretty decent price. You can find these generally on the aftermarket still for around like $20 or so. Like I think I paid, I think it was 23, and I had Amazon gift cards saved up, so I think I maybe spent like $2 on this thing once all it was said and done. So that wasn't too bad. But at least it's another figure that can go into my Star Wars display that came with the Darth Vader figure. So that's nice. Anyway, we'll talk to you next time. Bye.